If you really want to take your English to the next level, you're going to need to upgrade your vocabulary, use more advanced C1 and C2 words. And in this video, we are going to do just that. You are going to learn more advanced personality adjectives. So in this video, I will teach you 20 plus new words that you can use in your speech and in your writing to sound more fluent, sound more intelligent. So if that sort of topic interests you, stay tuned. We're going to start with the positive personality traits. And our first one is altruistic. Altruistic. An altruistic person is selfless. They put others' feelings and needs before their own feelings and needs. They like to help others, and they don't expect anything in return. So if you are the type of person to help someone whose car broke down on the side of the road, you are an altruistic person. Next, we have the word assertive. This describes someone who is direct and confident when it comes to asking for and getting what they want. They are not shy or slow to say what is on their mind. They assert themselves. Some people, especially in the job or corporate world, are not assertive enough. They might be afraid to say their opinion. They might be afraid to ask for a raise to make more money. And these people might be unhappy because of this. So the job world is a place where assertive people do well. And then we have the word hospitable. Hospitable. People who are hospitable are friendly or welcoming towards guests or visitors. In the American South, you will find people who are very hospitable. They don't mind helping out a stranger. If they invite guests over, those guests will surely be taken care of. They might even prepare a meal for their guests. Our next word is punctual. Punctual. This describes a person who generally does things at the planned time. They, for the most part, arrive to planned meetings or events on time. I consider myself to be a very punctual person. If I tell you I'm going to meet you at a restaurant at 6 p.m., I most certainly will arrive at 6 p.m. I'm very punctual. Do you consider yourself a punctual person? Let me know in the comments. So this next word is not the easiest to say, but try repeating after me. Conscientious. Conscientious. What does this word mean? A conscientious person wants to do things carefully and correctly. If you are a conscientious student, you probably pay attention in class, turn in all your assignments on time, and follow all the instructions. You also care about the quality of your work. And the next word we have is mellow. A mellow person is usually very calm in temperament. They do not get very excited much, nor do they get very upset about things. They are mostly just very relaxed and chill. The next word we have is quirky. Quirky people can be described as strange, but in a good way. Let me explain. They are very different from most people. Perhaps they dress in unusual clothes or have unusual habits. In spite of this fact, they are usually very likable people. There used to be a show on North American TV called The Magic School Bus, and on this show was a teacher named Miss Frizzle. She was quirky. She would dress in strange clothes. She said some unusual things, but in spite of that fact, all of her students and viewers like me really liked Miss Frizzle. We all wanted a teacher like her. She was very quirky. And then we have this word prudent. Prudent. A prudent person has good judgment. They are very careful and thoughtful. A prudent person is not one to make a decision without knowing all the details about the situation, asking questions. Let's say you were offered a job. You are a prudent person though, so you do not just accept that job. You ask questions. You want to know more about this position before you take it. Prudence is a very good quality to have. And then we have this word vivacious. Vivacious. A vivacious person has an attractive, exciting, lively, and positive personality. We usually use this word vivacious to describe women. If you know a woman who is always smiling, she likes to go dancing, likes to meet people, and is always very happy, you could describe her as vivacious. Next, we have this phrase, down to earth. A down to earth person is realistic. They're simple. They are honest with others and themselves about who they are. They do not see any reason to try to impress other people. They don't care to show off or have expensive things. When I think of a down-to-earth person, I think of Warren Buffett. Yes, he is a billionaire investor, but he is also a humble person who drives an inexpensive car, given the fact that he's a billionaire, lives in a relatively inexpensive house, and doesn't really feel the need to try to show off his wealth. He does what he likes and feels no need to impress others. He is a down-to-earth person. Next, we have this word, gutsy. A gutsy person is very brave. They take risks and do things others would be too afraid to do. In English, we also say that a person has guts if they do things that others are generally afraid to do. If you go skydiving, you are gutsy, or you have guts. Then we have another phrase, happy-go-lucky. Happy-go-lucky. A happy-go-lucky person is carefree. They do not really plan for the future or possible problems. They don't worry much, and they are pretty cheerful regardless of the situation. They accept the fact that whatever happens, happens. So if they go outside with no umbrella and it starts raining, they wouldn't be bothered about getting wet, and they will remain cheerful despite the nasty weather. Now we are going to move on to negative personality traits. And our first negative personality trait is stuck up. Stuck up. A stuck up person thinks that they are better than other people. And because they think they are better than these other people, they do not like to associate or talk to people who they think they are better than. In many American TV series or movies, you might see the popular boy or popular girl who looks at his or her classmates in a disgusting way. They might ignore them or choose not to speak to them. That's because that popular girl or popular guy is stuck up. The next trait is scatterbrained. Scatterbrained. A scatterbrained person has trouble concentrating or focusing their thoughts. A student who has a difficult time paying attention in class or always loses his homework might be scatterbrained. The next trait is combative. Combative. This word describes a person who is always ready to fight or have an argument. you could call them aggressive. It's usually very difficult to have a conversation with a combative person because they seem to get irritated or angry very easily. Our next word is ostentatious. Ostentatious. An ostentatious person likes to show off how smart, how rich, how chic, etc. they are in order to get others jealous of them or make others admire them. You might say a person who wears expensive jewelry or expensive clothes to the grocery store is a little ostentatious. Next, we have impulsive. Impulsive. An impulsive person acts without thinking first. I used to be very impulsive when I was younger. Right after college, I decided that I would move to a completely different country. And I didn't speak the language of this country. I didn't know anyone in this country. I didn't know anything about this country. I acted on impulse. I was very impulsive. It turned out to be a good decision in the end. And next we have a word, callous. Callous. A callous person doesn't show concern for the feelings and needs of other people. You might describe a robber as a callous person because they are only thinking about their selfish wants and not the problems and needs of the person that they are robbing. Next, we have the word materialistic. Materialistic. A materialistic person cares too much about possessions. Perhaps they think that things like houses, yachts, expensive clothes, and cars are more important than non-material things like friendship, family, and love. Next, we have this word, high-strung. High-strung. A high-strung person gets nervous very easily. They are very sensitive and excitable. A high-strung person might find it difficult to be in new or unfamiliar situations. They might get very tense, nervous, and fidgety. They might also get very irritated easily. Do you consider yourself a high-strung person in new situations? Let me know in the comments. Next, we have this word, gullible. Gullible. A gullible person is too trusting of what other people say. They are not difficult to fool. You could tell a gullible person that you won the lottery and an Olympic gold medal in the same hour, and they would believe you. Next, we have the word cunning. Cunning. If you're a cunning person, you can get things you want by deceiving others or making them believe things that are not true. Many people believe that politicians are cunning. They might win an election by making people believe the untrue things they say. Our last word is defiant. Defiant. A defiant person does not like to obey rules or other people's orders. If a mother or father tells their defiant child to eat their vegetables, that child will say no. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you were taking notes, and if you weren't, you might want to go back and rewatch. If you found this topic useful, make sure to leave me a like, subscribe if you have not already to this channel. If you go on my website, everythingamericanenglish.com, you will find a summary of the words mentioned in downloadable PDF format. So that is everythingamericanenglish.com. I will leave a link in the description box. And until next time, English learners.